I'm David Emerson. I read Mass Comm first from Lagos State Polytechnic, and then I went on to do a number of certificate courses with Harvard Business School online, London Business School, Nextport, and Scalable Academy, where I learned about disruptive strategy, entrepreneurship and innovation, marketing, strategy in itself, and a lot more about venture capital, So, and I've been an entrepreneur for over 16 years, failed at a number of startups, precisely two. In 2020, after all of my experience working with entrepreneurs and failing in business myself, I came to that point where I understood that I'm not just only knowledgeable in trying to help, people with ideas sort of start their businesses, but I can also bring my own insight from my failures and also my successes in business to helping entrepreneurs, get off the ground, but more focused on the R&D side of things,
Research and development.
Exactly. So that was what brought about FirstFounders, one of the very first venture studios that is sort of operating based on the actual operating model of venture studio. And I like to say that because not all the venture studios that operate right now are using the model, the curve model of venture studio, which of course I would delve into. Exactly, which I would delve into that more fully as we progress in this conversation. We basically partner with founders in their early stages to ideate, validate, and then create the product. Then we now move the product, from that ideas, that product prototype stage into core, to a company, that now begins to generate revenue. The goal is that at the end of the day, we should build startups that are up for, acquisitions or mergers, or startups that we grow to become unicorns and generate, good revenue, taking them to growth stage, basically, all of that. And for us as a company, as a venture studio, exit is to sell equity at the end of the day. So we often have like a two-pronged approach to how it works. There is a 3-year, build stage where we get to, build you, get you ready, take you through like some sort of apprenticeship to understand what it means to be a founder, what it means to build, what it means to connect with your market, your target, using our create data and also information collected from the users to be able to continue to improve your product. And then after 3 years, we expect that to be mastered the art in some way, and then you can leave the studio. Then we can still work with you for another 2 years. But at that point, you are not paying us for that service. And then we hope that when you get to Series A, we can exit, or when you get acquired, we exit. So that's actually the primary model around the venture studio model that we run.
So what would you say as an individual is your personal responsibility?
So my personal responsibility towards FirstFounders, and just like I've been doing, is to execute on the model end to end, ensuring that we are strictly adhering to the principles of venture building, as against just being an accelerator, an incubator, or even just operating as a venture capital. Yes, we bring in investment, but I often would not like to take the stance of a venture capital firm because, I can say we're a dual entity. Yes, we haven't raised our fund yet, even though that is in the process. But we brought in capital, we brought in syndicates, we brought in angels that have invested in the startups that we sort of build. So, but then the core thing is that as a venture studio, we want to be able to continue to build using that end-to-end and maintain, the solid framework that sort of govern the birthing of ideas and ensuring that they scale.